Okay, try it now. Oh, that's not right. Oh, sorry, you caught me in the middle of something here. We'll finish this later. Oh, quit your complaining or I'll turn you into a toaster. Hello and welcome to Cinemastrophe. I'm Don Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off. And it's our 2nd anniversary! I thought we'd do something special this year, since not only is it the 2nd anniversary of this show, but it's the 50th anniversary of my favorite television program, Doctor Who. Doctor Who was a British sci-fi television show that started in 1963 about an alien adventurer called the Time Lord who travels through time and space in a time machine called a TARDIS, which looks like a giant 1960s police call box. How is that possible, you ask? Well, it's...
Go on, say it. Most people do.
Difficult to explain. But basically it's
another dimension.
Anyway... The Doctor has been played by 11 actors over the years, explained by a process called regeneration. You see, when the Doctor is near death, due to natural or unnatural causes, he undergoes a complete change of every cell in his body, which is the regeneration process. The process is a bit more than that, however, as not only does the Doctor's body completely change, but so does his personality, even though he retains all of his memories, making each Doctor individually unique.
Even if I change, it feels like dying. Everything I am dies. Some new man goes sauntering away. And I'm dead.
The Doctor started out as an old man, played by William Hartnell. He was a grumpy, stuffy, stubborn know-it-all. You know, like all old people. With each regeneration, he got younger and more fun to watch. And I know this is a long exposition, but stick with me, there's a point to all this. The Doctor tends to travel around with companions, some humans, some not so much, and have run into a lot of creative enemies, like the Daleks, who look like killer trash cans. Trust me, they're more impressive than they sound. Cybermen. Think of them like the Borg, except the only organic material they use is the brain. The Centauran, a clone race who look like walking potatoes. I'm getting there. And even another Time Lord polar opposite to himself called the Master. The show went off the air in 1989 due to poor ratings, but continued on in the forms of books and radio programs, which brings us to today's review, the very first attempt to revive the series, the 1996 Doctor Who movie. Now, hey, wake the fuck up! I am talking! Now the reason this is such a special review is because Doctor Who is the show that got me into sci-fi. This is the show that I compare all of the time travel movies and all of the television programs to, because the way it's written, you really don't have any time paradoxes.
If we use your aerial to boost the signal and set up a resonation pattern between...
That doesn't really count. And if you do have a time paradox, it's part of the story.
You're so old now. I think you waited a bit
Look,
too long.
it was a clever way to do a Christmas Carol, so just let it go. And now that I've given you all the necessary information on Doctor Who, you'll understand why this movie is such a disappointment. So the movie starts out with a narration from the Doctor about how the Master was executed on the planet Skaro, and that his final request was that the Doctor take his remains back to their home planet.
It was a request they should never have granted.
Which leads to the strangest variation of the show's music to date. It's not really bad, just not really good. Wait, did I just see what I think I saw?
Why, Eric? Why do you keep appearing on this show? You're such a good actor! My God! Do you even read the scripts that are handed to you?
This brings us to the 7th Doctor, played by Sylvester McCoy, in the TARDIS, explaining how Time Lords have 13 regenerations and that the Master had used all his up as he locks the Master's remains up in a box. The box then breaks open for some unknown reason and this strange slime oozes out and sabotages the TARDIS, so it has to make an emergency landing.
What the fuck was that?
I mean, I know it's the Master, but since when do Time Lords turn into the giant ooze from Final Fantasy? And how the hell did he break the box open anyway? Did he cast a quake spell or something?
We're not gonna get an explanation for this, are we?
The Doctor tries to rectify the problem to no avail.
Oh no.
What the hell? Why am I looking at a giant fisheye? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Huh? You like that movie? Huh? You like that? Huh? Huh? You find that interesting? Huh? You like that? Huh? What about a big hairy asshole? Will you find that interesting too? Huh? Will you? Will you? Well, here you go. Huh, movie? You find that interesting? Huh? You like that? Huh? Huh? You find that interesting? Do you? Huh? Do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here. Okay, you know how you're on an airplane and the flight attendant asks you to turn your cell phone off? And you like, I ain't turning my cell phone off. That don't have nothing to do with no damn airplane. Well,
According to the screen text, it's San Francisco, 1999, when...
Okay. Who switched the DVD while I was taking a shit?
No, apparently we're still watching the same movie as the TARDIS appears in the middle of a gang war. Jesus Christ, less than 10 minutes and they've already jumped the shark. Just in time for the Doctor to get shot. And what's with the wind, the electricity, and the paper flying everywhere? You'd think the fucking Terminator was showing up. This is Lee, who will be showing up from time to time in the movie, so get used to that stupid haircut. Showing little concern for the death of his friends, he goes to check on the Doctor. Yeah, he's really someone the audience should get behind. While the TARDIS looks like it's developing a yeast infection.
Oh, trust me, there are plenty of comparisons I can make between the TARDIS and a woman. It's bigger on the inside, like a vagina, it's moody, it never takes you where you want to go, the list goes on and on.
I love how a fucking police box just appears out of nowhere and this kid doesn't even bat an eye. It's like this kid was raised at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Stop it. Stop it. What?
Stop breathing on me. Didn't you see War of the World?
Narrow guy. Chang Li will help you.
I'm telling you, Lee is still here somewhere. Let's finish him off. Well, time to go. They take the Doctor to the hospital.
And isn't it ironic?
No, like everything else in your song, it's not. Where they take an x-ray and see that he has 2 hearts.
Look! 2 hearts.
What? As if. It's a double exposure, Curtis.
What?
As if. It's a double exposure, Curtis.
What the hell is wrong with these people? Is no one affected by anything amazing in this universe? Even if you think it's a double exposure, you should double check anyway. You might stumble on the most miraculous medical find in history.
I get the feeling this isn't the first opportunity that he's passed up. Say, did you see that annoying kid in the emergency room who broke her arm falling off the stage? Oh God, yes. I couldn't decide if I should beat her or strangle her.
Ew, we should talk to her parents about getting together and making a reality show about her. We'd make a fortune. As if. Who would watch that? Son of a bitch! They say the doctor has been shot in his shoulder and leg, which explains why his regeneration hasn't kicked in, and they stick a probe into him to find out why his heart rate is so wild.
Massive seizure! Get that probe out of there!
Trying! Pictures out! Damn it! We're dropping off fast.
Just pull it out!
Come to me!
Get it out of there, Grace!
No good! I can't get it out of him!
With that, the doctor dies. The cardiologist named Grace looks at the x-ray and realizes it's not a double exposure. She calls Lee to ask him about the doctor, and when his cover is blown about knowing the doctor, he takes off with the doctor's stuff. Well, that was real dramatic. There wasn't even a payoff. No one slipped in it. It's like the director just wanted to throw water at the cameraman. Doctor Who, the movie filled with high-impact water-slapping action. Elsewhere, the Master manages to hitch a ride in the ambulance driver's, played by Eric Roberts' jacket and take over his body. And let's face it, when you sleep with your mouth open, you're just asking for the snake slime essence of a dead alien to take over your body. Back at the hospital morgue, the doctor starts his regeneration, which doesn't make any sense since he was dead.
Look who knows so much, huh? Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead.
And according to this movie, he also gains super strength.
You're sorry? Well, you can take your sorry and shove it up your ass! Fuck!
For some reason, not explained, this doctor has no memory of who he is.
Not sure why, but that sounds like a sound idea. Maybe if I stab myself in the neck and regenerate, I'll lose all recollection of this movie.